Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Montana Outlaw BBQ. Today, we're doing the king of presentations, the Tomahawk steak.
All right, so we're back. We are here with the Tomahawk ribeye steaks. Let's talk a little bit about this cut and why it is so sought after, why you're gonna go to a restaurant and you're gonna pay 150 bucks for this steak at any good steakhouse. It's gonna serve two people. I mean, look at the sheer thickness of it. And it is a solid 1.5 to 2 inches thick, all the way through. Big, bold, beefy. It's the ribeye steak. You more commonly know it as a ribeye steak, where it would be a bone in. They would cut it off here, or they would take the bone out all completely. But this is what you're also gonna see as your prime rib roast. You've noticed in past videos, we've cooked the eye of the ribeye. We've also cooked the ribeye cap in 2 different videos. That is this steak broke down into 2 different parts. Today, we're putting it all together just as nature intended it be. These are dinosaur bones. Pick it up, eat it when you're done. We're gonna season this up and we're gonna cook it caveman style today. What do I mean by caveman style? We're gonna put this on our Gateway drum smoker at 275 degrees and get a really nice kind of slower cook on that. Once it hits our internal temperature of 125 degrees, we're gonna pull it off. We're gonna get ourselves a basket of charcoal going really, really hot, and we're gonna lay this right on top of that charcoal, and we are gonna sear it off and get a nice crust all the way around, more in line with caveman style. So kind of a combo smoked caveman style cook. Before we do that, we need to get it seasoned up. Because this is such a big cut, we can put a little bit of extra seasoning on it. We're gonna go with a unique blend today. We're gonna be going with a black truffle sea salt first, and we're gonna top that off with a bourbon smoked pepper. Put down a little olive oil as a binder to get started. So let's get with it. Don't need a whole lot of olive oil. Just gonna help us do a binder on here. Little drizzle on each side. Get it worked in and around on the edges, and we'll flip it over and repeat here in just a second. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna hit it with our black truffle sea salt. So you can be pretty aggressive with this because it's such a big cut of meat. And we wanna make sure that it's got plenty of flavor in there. So we're gonna hit it with a couple good doses of the sea salt first with truffle. And then we're gonna come back over. This is a really coarse pepper. It's gonna make a really nice crust on this steak. And again, be pretty generous with it. You're not gonna over season this cut. Take and tap that in. We're gonna wanna make sure we get our sides too. So you're gonna flip it up. We're gonna hit all our sides, same way. Okay, so now that we've got it all seasoned, we're gonna let it sit at room temperature for about 15 minutes. We wanna let that rub start to penetrate in on this big cut of meat. You're gonna start to see some of the moisture come out from that salt. You can already smell it. Oh, that combination of truffle, smoked black pepper, a little bit of bourbon flavor. Man, it's gonna be killer. I'm so excited to cook this, so excited to get this thing done. I'm gonna go get my grill lit, 275 degrees, whatever kind of cooking method you're using. That's where we're gonna start this at. We're gonna go from there. So stay tuned because we're gonna put this thing on the grill next. We got a nice hot bed of coals going in here. Put this right on that hot bed of coals, like 30 seconds aside. And you're not gonna see a whole lot while it's doing it, but what we're just trying to do is add a nice another level of char to it. Start to see that color change. Flip it over. Just hold it directly over that flame. Now we're getting a good crust on it. Start to see that beautiful color that we're putting on that. So we got our steak over here. Obviously we got our bourbon. Can't have a good steak without a bourbon. It's been a fun, kind of unique, it's not 100% caveman style. It wasn't 100% smoke style, but we did that combination. About 40 to 45 minutes on the grill at 275 degrees. Got us to an internal temperature just right around 125 to 130. We pulled it, we let it rest. I've got some butter hanging out around here somewhere. We're just gonna put a couple of dabs of butter on that. We're gonna let that butter kind of work its way in. So it's rested, it's gone through that period. Our butter is all soaked in. Let's go ahead and cut this bad boy open and see how I did. So for this, take your knife, cut it right down that bone. Just like that. Set that bone aside. So you guys can start to see as I cut this open, what do we get? I can tell you it is unbelievably tender. Juicy as absolutely can be. And the smell coming off of this from that rub, the butter. If you want something that will impress your guests, buy yourself a tomahawk steak. All right, so we got this sliced up. We're ready to present. Beautiful piece of meat. What always pairs well with meat is our good friend Buffalo Trace, the spices, the vanillas, all the good flavors, the caramels that come out in Buff Trace, especially with a good single barrel pick like this. But man, I know what that tastes like. I want to know what this tastes like. You got a beautiful piece of steak, beautiful marbled, perfectly cooked. Oh, yeah. Showstopper, dynamite, tenderness, so much flavor. That truffle salt that's on there, the smoked bourbon pepper, man, all those flavors, all of it's going great. Pairs well with a good shot of Buff Trace. So if you want something to present to your guests the next time they're coming over, I highly recommend you run down to the butcher shop, pick yourself up a tomahawk. It may seem unnecessary to buy something that is so much bone, you're paying for it. I get that. But the presentation, the tenderness, the overall thickness that they cut these things at, I mean, all of those components add into why you would cook a tomahawk. It easily feeds 2 to 3 people. I hope you guys cook it. Try out those seasonings on it. Absolutely killer combination. And as always, make sure you tune in next time right here on YouTube to see what we're cooking up. Check out all of our social media platforms, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're working on TikTok. I keep on telling you guys that. We're gonna make it there. Check us out, follow us, see our recipes, see what we cook. Check out our blog on our website. Make sure you send an email, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button. We're having fun. I hope you're having fun. Thanks again. This is Ty from Montana Outlaw BBQ. We'll see you next time.